In this video, we're going to review the data that's available from the Ecotech Access BMU Pro and look at see how you can access it in the Access Service Tool software. First, we're going to pick out a customer in a particular BMU. You can see here you want to be in the BMU tab as opposed to the Charger tab. We get a listing of each type of device. And so we're going to pick this particular one. We can right click and go to view details. Alternatively, you could just double click on that particular item. First thing that comes up is a overview sheet where you can get overview of pie charts of different things and also some bar charts depending on the particular item you're looking for. The actual data, for the most part, is available in the history log, and you can see we have several different items here: the BMU ID, the customer, the fleet, the cycle index, which is just a count of the particular cycles that have occurred on that device, discharge start time, discharge duration, discharge active time, discharge resting time, the time when the truck is idle while the battery is connected, discharge start volts per cell, discharge minimum volts per cell, discharge start state of charge, discharge start battery temperature, discharge max battery temperature, discharge min battery temperature, discharged ampere hour, discharge watt hour, regeneration time, regenerated ampere hours, regenerated watt hours. This is the amount of regeneration that the truck delivers back into the battery during the discharge cycle. And then we also have several different levels of how many ampere hours were discharged in the equivalent state of charge levels. We have the average discharge current, the max discharge current. We also have the charge start time. This is now moving over to the charge data that's recorded by the BMU Pro. Charge end time, charge duration, charge active time, charge resting time. This is the time that the battery is on the charger, but the charger is not actually delivering current, such as at the end of charge. Charge start volt per cells, charge end volt per cell, charge max volt per cell, charge start current, state of charge, charge end state of charge, charge start battery temperature, charge minimum battery temperature, charge maximum battery temperature, charge end battery temperature, charged ampere hour, charged watt hours. And then we also have different ranges for what was done at different state of charges. We have the average charging current, the max charging current, was an equalize requested, was an equalize started, those come out as true false. Equalize time, was there any equalized time that occurred on that particular cycle? How many ampere hours were delivered in that equalize, and how many watt hours were delivered in that equalize? Was a water request issued? Was the charger connected? What charging curve? And this really tells you, is it a access charger or not? What was the capacity that the charger was set for when it was charging? What was the cable resistance value that was programmed in the charger or by the BMU? How many cells? What is the base load current, if there was anything programmed there? And then here we have the particular phases of the charge cycle. Was there a pre-charge phase, a main charge phase, an additional charge phase? Did we get to maintenance charge phase? Was the charge complete? Did we hit the charge ready? Was the charge paused? Did the operator hit the pause button and disconnect the battery? Did we have was the BBC part of this? Was it turned on during this? Was it an actual correct BBC charge or battery pick? What was there low battery temperature compensation or high battery temperature compensation? Were there any alarms issued? I don't know if we can see any here. Yeah, here we would have an alarm. You can see what would be issued if we had an alarm. It gives you the numbers and as well as a brief description of the alarm. And what else do we have? We have a cycle index as well as the database timestamp, and that just tells you when was this data downloaded. So that's what we get out of the history log, quite a bit of information there. And then most of that information can be graphed in bar graphs as well if you choose to do that. We also have an event log. The event log basically gives you all the alarms and any significant events that happen with the particular BMU. Was the BMU calibrated? Was it parameters changed? Was it flashed with a new firmware? All those events get logged in this event log. We also have an instant log, and that basically records data at the log interval that you set in the charger. And you can see we have quite a bit of data here. I'll just go through that briefly. The BMU ID, the customer, the fleet, the time of the and date stamp of the particular log cycle. Index just gives you a count of how many there are. The average current, the min current, the max current. And we also log the average, min, and max battery voltage. The average, minimum, and maximum battery temperature. We have the average center voltage, the state of charge, accumulated ampere hours. Please note that these couple of items, the center voltage and the state of charge, are for the new style Generation 2 BMU only. Your data on the older BMU may not be accurate there. Accumulated ampere hour and accumulated charged ampere hour and accumulated discharged ampere hour. This is the accumulated ampere hour is the sum of the charged and the negative, so it's really only the difference. You only accumulate what's been charged that is different than what's been discharged or in excess of what's been discharged. We have the sample period for that particular setting, and then for that particular log interval, and in seconds. And we also have a database timestamp, and that indicates the date and time that the actual data was downloaded. So if we close that, I didn't mean to open this back up, and we'll go the other item that we can look at. We can look at the instant log data in a graph mode as well, and we also have the status log, which every time the BMU is downloaded creates an entry there, and you can see we log all the normal information, date and time, all that stuff. Battery description, capacity, actual capacity, that's based on the new state of health indicator. We have the cells, the cycle cells. This is basically a summary of how many cycles are what depth of discharge on average there. We have total cycle count, cycles calculated to be left in the battery, ampere hours left in the battery, time left based on current usage levels, average lifetime temperature, average discharge time total, discharge totalized discharged ampere hours, so that's a good thing to look at for the overall life of the battery, as well as discharge ampere hours total, charge time total, charged ampere hours total, and current state of charge and current battery temperature at the time of the download, as well as a database timestamp there as well. So as we can see, there's a lot of information there that is recorded in the BMU Pro, and that kind of sums up what we've got in the particular VMU Pro. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact Ecotech at 937-606-2793. We'd be happy to answer your questions. Just ask for customer support.